Welcome back to Crossfire. Yes, Crossfire, a television program. But we have here two of the biggest mouths in radio. On the right, from New York City, Rush Limbaugh. On the left, from Chicago, Bob Lasseter. Mr. Lasseter, one of Mr. Limbaugh's favorite subjects is Congressman Barney Frank, who it turns out he had one of his ex-male prostitute friends who worked for him running a whorehouse in his apartment. Apparently, the House Democratic majority thinks a slap on the wrist will be enough for that. Do you agree?
Well, what would you think? The chair, perhaps?
How about a condemnation? How about a censure where he stands up in the House of Representatives and is read the riot act?
How about
anything wrong with that?
9 months of having your life drugged through the papers without any substantiated charges?
No substantiated charge? You don't think those are substantiated charges?
Somebody that ran a prostitution service.
And
know anybody?
The guy was a male prostitute.
Hired the guy. Barney hired the guy and said for 2 years.
Not as a prostitute.
Yes, and he said he didn't know what was going on. But Barney Frank, who said of Ed Meese, he's been careless in his associations. He should be fired. He said of Oliver North and Ronald Reagan, well, it was going on in the White House basement. He had to know what was going on. Oh, well, you admit that there's something more stature conscious about that?
Ed Meese was an attorney general who gave loans and got loans and got jobs and gave jobs.
The special prosecutor said at the end of the investigation, I don't think he did anything wrong, or we can't find anything, but we think he might have done. I mean, it's a travesty.
Wait a minute. The special prosecutor brought charges and Oliver North was convicted.
No. Ed Meese. He's going to talk about Ed Meese. Ed Meese was brought up on a $60,000 questionable loan. This has hardly anything to do with Barney Frank.
But
Barney Frank brought it up? Barney Frank is the one who wanted Ed Meese out of town for far less than what Barney Frank has done.
Wait, Ed Meese was implicated in things involving the government.
You don't think that it's anything wrong with an American congressman running a gay male prostitution ring?
Well, yes, I certainly do. Do you know any American congressmen who have been charged with running prostitution units out of their apartments?
Barney Frank has. And he has admitted that Gobi was doing it, but that he didn't know at the time. Yeah, Frank's admitted it, Bob.
Mr. Lester, if a congressman, a Republican congressman, had a sexual activity with female prostitutes, and it's against the law, a little misdemeanor, do you think he might have run into some kind of trouble?
No, I think it's probably going on right now.
Isn't there such a case? Isn't there such a case?
Buzz Lucan. So what happened? The Republicans said, Buzz, this is not going to be good for us. Out. Get out. The Democratic leadership is calling Barney a genius.
Oh, it is correct.
It is correct.
They did not say it. They did not say it until Barney Frank got in trouble. Then they thought, uh-oh, double standard coming along. This Barney Frank thing is too good to waste. We better get Buzz Lucan.
We don't have much time.
He was perfectly fine.
Why do you think it's only this? Why do you think it's only this with Barney?
I know you have a theory. Why don't you throw it out?
Outing. Barney has threatened to name 6 Republican gay congressmen twice. He's threatened to do it. And he made a speech not long ago where he totally denounced outings. And he couldn't stomach it.
What do you want?
And somebody said...
I want to discuss a different kind of outing, Mr. Lester.
We now have, speaking of AIDS and what causes it, the International Red Cross is boycotting the International AIDS Convention going on in San Francisco today because of this ridiculous American policy that says people who are AIDS carriers cannot enter the country. Now, would you know something that the Red Cross doesn't know about the danger of spreading AIDS?
As far as I know, Michael, there's a 10-day visa that they're letting people come in
for this conference.
It's not a waiver. It's not a waiver, you understand.
Yeah, so what? I mean, there's no beef here.
For the conference? Sure there is.
Michael, look, this is a behaviorally spread disease in all cases except little babies who get it from pregnant mothers. Now, doesn't it make sense that if you increase the universe of people who have the disease, you expand the odds of the disease being spread? And when there's no cure for it,
so what should we do? Put them all in detention camps?
No, did I say to put them in detention? We're talking about letting others into the country here.
No one has to get AIDS who doesn't want to, as you just put it, except for unfortunately little babies.
I'm not aware of any great problem that we have with hordes and hordes of people with AIDS trying to get into the country.
Well, I really don't. I think that misses the whole point.
Isn't this another one of the great non-issues of the day?
I think it misses the point of the AIDS conference. I mean, the point of the AIDS conference is that you've got the single largest collection of people trying to find a cure, and the gay community's out there protesting them.
All right. We have to take another break. When we come back, we're going to discuss a couple more issues, and we're also going to talk about the growing power, political power, of talk radio.